Welcome to Tinks Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As for recording time of 9:14 a.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum could trade $3,109, down about 4.28% so far. As you can see clearly on the over crypto market and the equity market on the pre-market perspective, we are relatively red at the moment, with Ethereum currently down about 4%, while Bitcoin is also gliding down as well, down about 2.15%. And the main catalyst has came out at 8:30 a.m. on the Eastern Time this morning with respect to the Consumer Price Index report, or the CPI report that we've been talking about. It seems like we are creating a historical hot inflationary report all over again, incomparable to historicals. And with respect to some of the high-level numbers, seems like the CPI index for all items rose by 0.6% in January, and driving up the annual inflation rate by 7.5%. Wall Street was expecting 7.2%. It rise by 7.5%. And when you see a hot inflationary report like this, it subsequently spiked the 10-year Treasury yield to top 2% all over again. And if you compare that, relatively speaking, on a historical spectrum, the mark, this is the biggest gain since February 1982. And this is obviously even higher, relatively speaking, both on the monthly, relatively the most recent time frame, to even dated all the way back before even I was born back in the day. So this is a relatively serious negative report, driving the sell-off that we're seeing across the spectrum right now. And on the core inflationary pressure, it rose by 6%, which is also higher than expectations. And with respect to real earnings for workers, increased just 0.1% on the month when accounting for inflation. And with respect to the weekly jobless claims, they claim to decline to 223,000, which is below the 230,000 estimate. So this is a really ugly report. And just to be frank with you, with this being said, not saying that this is a huge break it or make it type of affectation, but this is something that's foreseeable, right? We were expecting, as the Fed is still trying to triangulate the job numbers with respect to the inflationary pressure by, basically tweaking their quantitative purchasing, right? From $120 billion that we were doing historically back in November, October, back in the day when, COVID was still, percolating. It is still percolating, but obviously, the Fed's made a decision to shave it down, to 30 billion going forward, and it's going to be the same for March as well, at 30 billion asset purchasing going forward. But for that to be in a more mitigated perspective, you have to spike the interest rate in a higher perspective. It has to be a balance, right? So obviously, with that affectation driving the sell-off, right? So for my Patreon members, refer to the list that I posted this morning on the sell buy signals. This is one of those times when you really have to be focused on understanding your frame of reference in terms of how you risk mitigate. So let me know if you have any questions on the buy sell signal I just posted about 10 minutes ago. So let's just dive into technical analysis with respect to recording time of 9:18 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum currently $3,098, down about close to 5% so far. Right now, we are levitating approximately above the 3,000 right now. We broke 3,100, which is not a real level. 3,150 was the real level. And you could see that we were levitating yesterday from the 3,250, which, as we know, that's not a real level. The level we need to get up is the 3,325. So we got away from it and subsequently got below to the secondary level, which is the 3,100, which are kind of hovering right now. And at the moment, we are showing some signs of an apex that's formed on the RSI front, right, where the 62 out of 70. So right now it's dipping down. So I think the logical next step for it to be going down to 3,000 would not be a surprise to me. And if we, as the day durates, as the equity market opens up, I wouldn't be even surprised if we go back down to the 2,853. Knowing the fact that the weekend is coming, so people might be looking for a reason to take profit, knowing the fact that we are at the relatively overbought level for Ethereum right now. So we'll see how that goes, right? But as the market digests this news subsequently, we will see how the shape will form. But in a more of a natural gradients perspective, I think it will naturally glide back to the 3,000, naturally glide back to the 2,850, and then recuperate from there. And by then, I think 2,850 is a good buying opportunity, to be honest with you. Bitcoin is now about 2.15%. We broke below, obviously, the critical level, the 43,875. The next level that will naturally go down to will be somewhere around, like, obviously the 42, right, as the first level, and then subsequently all the way to the 40,000. If the market further digests this information and there seems to be some negative consensus around it. But I think the market is going to look for a reason because of the fact that we're the 60 out of 70 right now, and we're showing some curvature right now. So selling back down to 40,000 would be possible. Dogecoin is now about 5% as well. I like anywhere from, again, 14 cents all the way to 12 cents from here. I don't really like buying this at this level. We have formed an apex already. And if you've been following the buy sell hold signals, you know what we've been talking about. And with the 50 out of 70, so definitely no go. Cardano is now about 3.23%. We are selling back down. So ideally, we'll come back down to approximating the 110, which is the first level, but that's not a real level, right? To ideally 105, which is a real level. But if we break below 102, I'm buying 102 to 92 from here. Solana, let me go back to the chart. Solana is at 107 right now. You can see that clearly we broke 113 for obvious reasons because the CPI report freaked everybody out. I mean, it is quite negative, to be honest with you. 107 right now. I like anywhere from, again, right, $95 to $80 at the 43 out of 70. So I will be buying more Solana as it comes back down a little bit more. XRP is down about 5%. I like anywhere from, again, right, whatever goes up really, really fast, come down just as fast. So follow the buy sell signal to make your logical decisions. I know some people made crazy gains on XRP recently. A friend of mine on Patreon told me recently. So congrats to you again. You know who you are. And I like anywhere from, again, 62 to 57 from here. Polkadot's down about 6%, 2077. I like, again, right, anywhere from 1840 to 1587 with the 46 out of 70. So not the best right now. We're curving down, so the apex has formed. So I think more sell-off is coming. Algorand's down about 5% right now. I like anywhere from basically 90 to 79 from here. Shiba Inu is trying to show me something again. I don't really want to get any news disrupting us. So Shiba Inu, I like anywhere from low 2000s, 1400 to 900 from here. We're forming an apex, so I think a sell-off is definitely imminent. NACTAC is down about 7.3%. I like anywhere from, again, 143 to 120. I really don't like this because of the fact that there's so many, weird activity going on with respect to these flash crashes with the 52 out of 70, so absolutely negative. AVAX now about 5% as well. I like anywhere from 60 all the way to 50. Luna is at 54 right now, so we're at the cusp of basically testing back to the next resistance level, right? 62, 52, 45 from here, right? So, today's report was definitely a negative one, but I think it can also present a buying opportunity for us, right? So feel free to refer to our Patreon updates. I'll do a tutorial on how to use that properly. I know some people have some questions around it. Some people find it very intuitive, so they've been making like really good returns, even better than I am. Yeah, so hopefully this was helpful. Again, I'm not a wizard. I'm just reading the charts, identifying the quantitative analysis by understanding what's the fundamental value versus the technical value. Compare that, right, and identify the gap, and you capitalize on the gap to get the profit that you're looking for. You know what I'm trying to say? So appreciate you. Have a good day and take care.